Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pensacola Super Speedway. It is qualifying day for the 4th annual NRSL Crown Royal 300 special event that we hold every year on the Bulldog Speed channel. And this time I'm joined by Vince Freeze for qualifying day.
Yep, it's qualifying day here at Pensacola. Florida and endurance racing, synonymous names. You got events like the Rolex 24, Sebring 12 Hours, Daytona 500, and now this time at Pensacola, we're at the day track, and we'll see who will shine under the sunshine, the Sunshine State.
First driver on track is Chad Marin. These guys got 10 minutes to go out and set the fastest lap they can manage. Draft will be very, very important if you want to be top 10 at the end of these 3 sessions. 69-degree day, north wind of 14 miles an hour, and all 106 drivers, I believe, will have to deal with this.
103, I thought.
103, okay, thank you for the correction. Braden Perez, Jonathan Wong, and others also on track. We probably won't get to highlight all of these guys in a short 10 minutes, but Gatlin Downey on track there in the 990. We'll see some triple-digit numbers. Diego Yepes in the 77. Oh, Yepes is the first one to get some form of draft here off of Ryan Pritchard. And if you can't get formed up in a decent pack, you know, it is a 3-mile super speedway, Vince, and not a lot of time to get set up for a good draft lap.
I think this is the best strategy by Yepes here. Find the double agent, as I like to say, a tandem partner, and go out there and make a lap. Now let's see, he's going 224 probably. Pritchard's going 220, 221. Yeah, I think he'll get a nice lap here. I'm not sure the lap times because so 49.02 is the benchmark. I'll stay somewhere in the 48s. I think he'll slide him, but he's catching him at the wrong time.
I'm trying to remember. I think our fast laps last year were around, or 2 years ago rather, when we did Q sessions and we had over 100 entries. I believe our fast laps were in the 47.6 range, but I could be wrong. I think the fastest might have been like a 47.4, but most people were hitting about a 47.6.
Faster in the race than qualifying. You see Yepes go 48.28. That probably won't hold up. There you go. It's not holding up. Someone else beat that before car.
That's the
That
number.
is Patrick Smith.
And he had draft, it seems, off of Henrietta Fitzwater. And now he is passing her.
Fitzwater's second entry.
You'll see a ton of manufacturers in this race too. Chevy, Ford, Dodge, Toyota, Pontiac, and Honda alike. As Yepes right back to the top with a 47.760. There's now another driver joining this draft group. That is Trey Smith in the 53 Domino's Dodge. And now another new driver to the top of the board, a 47.681. That is run by the 15 of Henry Williams.
Starting to eke into those 47s we talked about at the beginning. I think draft may not be the thing today. I think it's about getting one run with another car. I just don't. There we go, like this, like Gene Sanford is doing, getting that 2-car tandem going in a way. That might be a faster route.
Gene Sanford and Ariana McShane were second and third for a moment. But now Diego Yepes has jumped back to the top of the board again. This time with a 47.471. Ryan Pritchard a 5.31. As there's Allison Rain in the number 7 machine. But we're seeing those times start to get really close, Vince, with only 5 minutes left in the session.
It's time to go. And you see this four-car train. Let's see what they do. This is the first time we've seen a four-car train.
Well, none of them are going to set a fast lap except for Allison, who runs a 6:42, which is her fastest.
Oh, someone to the top.
We've got a 47.0 set by the 87 of, I believe this is pronounced Avril Mead.
Yep, Avril Mead. Yep.
Avril Mead, and then the 860 of Joey Miles, second on the board. Just kind of looking around here. There's Seth Cole in the 39. And in the 99 car is RJ Reynolds. This is the car that won the first ever Crown Royal 300 back when it was the Pizza Hut 300. Is now the 71 of Lane Sanford. Jumps to the top in his number 71 FedEx Pontiac.
I think we're going to eclipse the 46 seconds in these next two sessions. These guys are starting to figure it out. Usually session 2 and 3 will figure out what the first session does and goes usually a tenth or two quicker. But we'll see. These guys are dicing it up. Looking almost 3 wide for a second there.
And I believe some of these drivers might be coming to pit road for a little extra grill tape as some of these guys move to the outside lanes. That's indeed the case. The 34 there dropping the pit road of Corey Raymond. He is 31st, and he needs to figure out something if he wants to be top 10. Yepes currently sitting in 9th. That's not really safe enough to me. Remember, there's 2 more sessions after this. Top 10 overall will lock into the race. Sam Young in the 1 Jack Daniels Chevrolet. As there's Jonathan Zorlin, the man that lost out on that tie-breaking finish back in 2016. And Zorlin has managed to drive this Aquafresh Ford every time they've allowed it to be entered. Last year's race, a different body style was used. But 2016, 2019, and now for 2021, these are the cars that have been used for this event. And Zorlin has managed to get in this 48 every time. Morgan Turner, 11th on the board, 47.323. That is a she, by the way, just to be clear. Patrick Smith leads this group. Joshua Teppensaw will jump to pit road. We've only got a minute and a half left in this session, as the 29 of Henrietta Fitzwater just jumped to the top of the board with a 46.997.
Got a good run there. I think this is the thing. You have to place yourself. It's all about positioning, and a little drafting distance like that 68 and Morgan Turner has. It's good, but might be too late with less than a minute to go in a second.
Well, that is a minute to start a lap. Right now, the ticker is counting down how much more time you have left to start a lap. Morgan's going to peak low, but I think she's going to lose way too much momentum. The lap, you want a good lap to be consistently 225 plus. Oh, almost to 47.012. Set by both the 68 and the 33, and apparently Keith Martin was a hair faster. But you've got first, third, and fourth all right here in this pack, as there are a ton of drivers on pit road that will not have a shot at another lap. Nobody really setting anything crazy. Oh, this is a big pack right here. Somebody here might get something. 47.098 by H.W. Turner. As we are officially on the countdown screen. So 25 seconds left to complete your lap. By the way, H.W. Turner, that's the 90. That is actually Heather Wellington Turner. The name is too big to fit in this game.
Oh, you were right, Zach, that your pass time didn't hold up, and honestly...
Oh, right at the end, Lane Sanford with a 46.968 to jump to the top of the board. Unbelievable.
I got that right position. Let's see what the lap looked like.
Well, he was at the back of this pack. Holding 230 through the corner. Holding the very bottom too. Stays in line right here down the back. Just lift it a little bit to stay in line. He's going to get back to the bottom. He's going to lose speed here, which I think we've seen everybody kind of slow it down in turn 3. But he stays in line of the draft the entire time. And just a beautiful 46.968. So that'll do it for session 1. Current top 10. Lane Sanford, Henrietta Fitzwater, Patrick Smith, Keith Martin, Morgan Turner, Avril Mead, Joey Miles, Heather Wellington Turner, Robert Young, and Nick Martinez. I suspect that anybody running worse than a 47... I'm going to say anybody from Mead on down is likely going to get knocked out. And I'd say Sanford and Fitzwater are looking pretty good on being locked in. Especially Sanford. A 968 to a 997 is a heck of a difference considering all the other times.
I don't think anybody threw it. Well, Patrick Smith would need a luck. He needs some luck. He would need the second session to utterly fail and the third session to be something like this. But other than those top 3, I'll give it the top 3. I don't see anybody else advancing.
All right, well, we will see you guys for session 2 in a few minutes. We're here back at Pensacola getting ready for session number 2 to begin. Lane Sanford with the fastest time in session 1. Henrietta Fitzwater second on the board. That's your current front row. Those are the only 2 drivers who were able to run a sub 47 second lap. Patrick Smith was third with a 47.000. Reminder, top 10 lock into the Crown Royal 300 and don't have to go through the heat races. So the first one off of pit road in session 2 is Ron Bishop, driving the number 88 Dodge. Carabelle will be the second one off in one of those gold machines. Several of the cars entered in this race running either a gold or 4th of July styled car. So that is the 160 of Nicholas Jowett in the 160. Ryan Brommer in the number 5. Owen Crafton. I believe this is pronounced Renan Isip. Manny Salato. Chris Wilson. This is the 370 of Alexander Smith. There's Andrew Rich himself. Samet Oskin, another big name on the channel. This is Jansen van der Haar, I believe that is pronounced. Riley Spurleytube making a first on the channel. Charles Sanford, I believe, commentated this race with me 1 year. I'm going to say it was 2019's event. All right, Vince, do these guys want to do the same thing the guys in session 1 did?
I don't know. I really think you got to go big pack. I don't think the two's going to work because that's what you Pez tried. That didn't work. You have to go 5, 6, maybe 7 cars. And like Fitzwater, and Fitzwater early, I think was the first one to go on that strategy of a big pack. I think you have to slide into. It's all about placement. You know, turn 3 is not going to win. You're going to lose time there. It's about really holding your line through turn 1 and 2 as the 770 starts lowering the pace here.
And there's the 20 of Vince Freeze in this session as well. A lot of big names in session number 2 trying to cue their way in. But yeah, you can see there the 20 checking up for Bishop. It's just not a good way. From what I've seen, you want to be back of a big pack going about 230 at the start-finish line. And then you've just got to position yourself correctly the whole lap in order to get a good time.
You see Vince here, he's looking to just stay tucked in, but I don't know if that's going to work. Because our first time was 48.00 to start the pace. We'll see.
Carabel ran a 0:30. And then we have... there it is. Manny Salado ran an 0:01, and now we're starting to see some really fast times. It's the 0:05 of Charles Sanford sets a 47.121. However, remember, we're not looking at top 10 in this session anymore. So we've got a big string of cars right here, but we're looking at top 10 overall, and right now the slowest time is a 47.115, but this pack looks nice and trained out, and I think Charles Sanford could be setting the best lap we've seen so far.
In fact, they're racing too much, though. I think that's going to cost him in 3. He might go a little faster, but I don't know if it's going to be top like 40. Yeah, it's not going to win.
No, it is. It's a 46.632.
What in the world? All right, so I guess the wake is so big on this bod that you need that run distance. Copy what Sanford did. I look at the data.
46.889 by Riley Spurleytube. And Deanna Jones ran a 46.902. Dylan Young ran a 0:37. And that's going to knock out the 56 of Nick Martinez, the 01 of Robert Young, the 90 of Heather Wellington Turner, and the 860 of Joey Miles. For the time being, those are the 4 knocked down, which means now the lap time to beat is a 47.045. But this pack got formed in the correct fashion, and they were able to set blistering lap times.
Is this the only pack on track? I think so. I guess that just shows you got to be in the right place, the right time, and the right group around you with quick cars. It's the only way to really do it. The two car stuff doesn't work.
And Spurleytube just jumped the pit road. Nobody in this pack running anything faster so far. Is there another pack streaming around here? You need at least 4 cars. This is about, I think, the closest we're seeing here. But they are dipping below 220, and I know dipping below 220 is not what you want to do. especially when you're passing in a 3-car train to a 2-car train. So this is still the best pack on the track, but they are not running nearly as fast times as they were before. And Van der Haar is going to jump to pit road. So right now, those top 4 of Sanford, Charles Sanford, Riley Spurley Tube, Deanna Jones, Dylan Young, those are the only 4 jumping into the top 10 right now. Dylan Young would be situated 9th right now overall. But the other 3 jumped Lane Sanford altogether. Right now, we're looking at a triple-digit number front row.
Tentatively, because we still have session 3, but yeah, it looks like nobody really formulated other than that one pack, and I think it's going to hold up unless someone has like a masterful grill tape and plan with other drivers. I don't see it's going to happen though.
And setting in 042 was the 13 of James Ellison. And that is going to knock out the 87 of Averill Mead. But Ellison's going to be right on the hot seat here, as this 3-wide work won't give anybody a fast lap here.
Tires too are starting to wear as well, slightly, not a lot, but a little tire wear too. You got to get that lap around lap 3, 4 to ace it.
Only a minute left in the session. Can anybody pull a fast lap out of their back bumper like Lane Sanford did?
I don't know. It depends if there's a pack going around. If this is the only one, somebody back there. There we go.
Here's one. No laps, though. They are all pretty slow right now, too. Both the 24 cars in a pack together right now. Andrew Rich and Riley Spurley Tube. Ooh, this pack is catching the pack in front. That could produce a fast lap time here. Samet Oskin's in this pack, but he's to the outside. I'm not sure if he's in an ideal position.
Yeah, these guys, I just think they've been run. I don't think they've stopped running. I don't know how they could produce a quicker lap time with the tire fall. We'll see. They have to really start catching. 220 is not going to work in that turn.
This is going to be their last lap on the board, and none of them will be faster. Seeing some times near the bottom shift, but that really doesn't matter for anything. Five seconds left. This big pack's going to get to the line at the last second. But none of them with a top 5 Worldly lap time. And at the moment, Charles Sanford is the man on top with a 46.632. So half of our drivers from session 1 were knocked out of the top 10, and now only 5 from the first session remain.
Second session didn't really screw up. Now I think it's pretty much the second and third. I think it's better to go later. I think the bottom line is you see what the first session did, you adapt. Now the third guys, they should have the best adaptation if they play it right. We'll see.
All right, well, with Sanford on top, Spurley Tube second, Deanna Jones third, puts Lane Sanford fourth, Henrietta Fitzwater fifth, Patrick Smith sixth, and then the 33 of Keith Martin, 68 of Morgan Turner, 7th and 8th, Dylan Young in 9th, and James Ellison 10th, with one session remaining. Top 10 lock in. We'll see you for the final session in a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 34 more drivers will attempt to lock themselves into the Crown Royal 300 and avoid the 20-lap heats that will follow this. First one out on track is Brandon Yodel. Stephen Colon, second out on track. And there's the man, big friend of Vince Freeze here in the booth, Nick Breeding on track.
It's this guy, he's got an interesting personality, but let's keep going to more drivers.
Pretty Shaw in the 580. Harper McCain in the Skittles 31. We've got Mike Corvo in the 910. Joshua Johnson in the UPS 51. Donovan Cage in the Monster Energy 35. Hunter Braxton in the Red Bull 81. I don't even think we saw Enzo Nareza at all in the second session. Daniel Bouchard in the 790 is going to come out right in the draft of Braxton. As will William Brock, Harry Lorraine. This is souping up to be a bit of a pack right here.
Like Lorraine's just going to lag back a little bit, try to get some draft distance. Yodel, he's going full send right now.
It's going to take this potential group a lap to get in order. Reminder, the time to beat right now to even be top 10 is a 47:042 set by James Ellison.
Guys just staying in line here, trying to search for some arrow push up front, but I just think they're in their own bubble.
See, right now they're still not even up to speed.
Oh,
as the 3 of Brock is going to jump to the inside. That's going to hold up the whole momentum. You want to be going about 2:30 at the start-finish line if you even have a shot at something like this. Zachary Fitzwater Sr. here in the 59. Sister, or wife rather, I believe, Henrietta, currently locked in the top 10. This could be a potential pack right here. Winnie Calhoun, Vincent David, and Audra Baranauskas are all souped up, lined up, and hitting the 230 in turn 1.
Well, you know, Baranauskas, too, from previous series. That's a speedway threat right there. We'll see what she's got coming forward. But right now, these guys and gals, I don't know, they might have something here. It may not be Sanford's time, but
Calhoun's going to pull out. That's going to hurt the overall draft momentum here. These drivers will likely run low 47s, but I don't think they're going to hit a 47.0. You have 334, 264, 240. 240 is the fastest time on the track. There's Jesse Turner. He got front row in this race 2 years ago. See if he can position himself to get a top 10 worthy lap time or not. James Saunders, Henry Sanford, Grace Takayama, Ibrahimian, Harper McCain, and many others. So we're seeing some drivers setting some faster times in this pack, but they're only running 47.2s.
You would think these guys would have the best setup. They've seen the first two, but I guess there's just no one trying to. Well, I guess other than this pack, there's really no one trying to make a spread here.
We just had several drivers set 46.9s.
Baranowskis.
I believe that was the Baranowskis pack.
That's going to knock out Ellison Young. That's no doubt.
That's Vincent David. That's Audra Baranowskis and Winnie Calhoun. 940, 958, 990. That's going to knock out Ellison, Dylan Young, and Morgan Turner.
The question is, will these guys have those times hold up, or is that it? We'll see. That big pack might do something. It's not over yet.
And this pack is forming up right here again. These three could be looking at even faster times. And they are.
Audra
with a 46.577 goes to the very top of the board.
Audra, Baranowskis, and David are the front row right now.
Charles Sanford gets dumped down to third as Calhoun sits in fourth.
Nick Breeding on the outside as these guys, they have one more in them.
And they are still moving with this momentum. As we've got a ton of drivers that just set 7s and 8s. Where is that pack?
Be the big pack.
It's got the 3 of William Brock in it right here. William Brock, a 7.75. Donovan Cage. Where's Donovan Cage? Donovan Cage with an 8.19. Connor Hurley with an 8.73. Even more drivers setting times. The whole top 10 has run an 8.77 or lower.
That's it. I knew it. The third session. Once you see those first two, it's game over. Are these top 10 going to be the top 10 overall now? That's going to be the question. That'd be something.
Second of Riley Spurleytube, who ran an 8.89 in the last session, has been knocked out. The only driver remaining from another session is Charles Sanford, and he currently sits third with his 6.32.
That just shows you that experience pays off in a sense of learning and seeing.
Brandon Yodel, Connor Hurley, Harry Lorraine. Braxton is currently the first man out. Bouchard ran an 8.78. Breeding with a 9.53. Fitzwater a 9.67. Those are times that would have been great one session ago. The 70 is driven by Patrick Franklin. So 9th on up are currently top 10 locked in, along with Charles Sanford from Q Session 2. That's incredible.
Just figure, you got the Pied Piper. Baranowskis, super speedway threat, knows what to do. Go off of her. That's the benchmark. But now, realistically, you got guys like Donovan Cage, who've been around here, Brock, the community. I mean, there's a lot of big guns here, and they figured it out.
A minute left in the session. We're going to keep this window up as you see several drivers jumping back out on track, but I don't think a minute is enough time to get your car up to speed in order to set a 46.8.
So you know what? Watch Fitzwater at the back of that pack. He's starting to catch up. That might be something to watch.
Fitzwater ran a 9.67. He's going pretty fast right now, Vince. You might be onto something here.
He might be the only one, though. But Nick Breen just pulled out. That might have cost him. We'll see.
Fitzwater's going 220 here in this draft at the very back. Is it a worthy lap time? No, it's only an 074, but he's got one more chance at it.
31 to 1. It's pretty good.
Breeding's now leading the pack. He ran a 928 that time by.
This isn't over yet. There might be still one person. It might be Fitzwater. He's the only one that has a chance, I feel like, to do something here.
Fitzwater's just got to ride in the draft. Don't make any crazy moves. Right there, just right in the bottom. Right on the bottom. 218 in turn 3 might be too slow. The draft checkup might hurt Fitzwater here. It's going to be a 47.195. Not enough for Fitzwater.
Unless there's some miracle, I think that's it.
They'd have to beat Henry Lorraine's 877 to make the show.
Braxton tied. It must have went down to like a millisecond or some crazy number.
There's a few packs left there. Time is up. And it's official. Baranauskas and Vincent David will be the front row. Charles Sanford, Winnie Calhoun, row 2. William Brock, Donovan Cage, row 3. Patrick Franklin, Brandon Yodel, row 4. With Connor Hurley and Harry Lorraine, row 5 for the 4th annual NRSL Crown Royal 300. Everybody else will have to go to the heat races, which will now have to do a little bit of reorganizing since 9 of our 10 drivers come from this session alone.
Any thoughts before we wrap this up, Zach, on qualifying? Very interesting, to say the least.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised, but I'm also not surprised because we did have a session 2 years ago and 2 years ago we had 5 or 6 qualifying sessions that we did. Wow. And you know, back then we did have a session or two where I believe it was Alex Mata and Jesse Turner set 47 fours or whatever the fast lap time that was out of the water back then was. They set that time in like Q session 3 and no one ever even came close. So if we had 3 more Q sessions, I don't think anybody would have touched half of these guys right now.
I think it's just the magic number. The 3rd session, you find everything you learned from the first 2 and go out there. But you also got Baranauskas. You get someone like that leading the pack, it might be GG. But we'll move on to the next round here at Heats as we reorganize.
And as you look at these times, too, just to think about it, Brett Moma is 15th in this session alone with an 027. And Dylan Young, who was 9th with an 037 after the second session, would have been 16th now. So it's just crazy. But just so everybody's in the clear, top 10 is the only thing locking you in. You are not going to get backed up on a top 30 out of 103 cars here. So it's coming down the heats next. Vince, I believe we're doing top 10 in every heat are advancing, if I remember correctly. I did set the rules myself, but I would have
20
forgotten.
laps, caution on. Yep.
Top 10 advance, yep. So 20 lap races up next. We'll see you for that in a few hours.